Hey, welcome back. We're doing a lessons in review, lesson overview of lessons 15 through 21. This is a pretty cool one. We learned to master the Cartoon Animator 5 camera system, how to work with this new camera system in the timeline, and also we were working with the transform and lens key. Hi, I'm Tom with Hound Dog News, and we're about to start the Master the Camera class. And hope you guys all enjoy it. We'll dig right into how we set the cameras for all. So that's really one of the few times that I actually do video of myself, not really because I'm shy, but any time I try to add the camera to all the resources I'm using in order to edit the cartoon animation, it just hasn't worked out. So I just finally gave in and decided that it was better I could at least produce a good lesson. And even then, we have a lot of lagging when we're trying to show you the previews and stuff like that. So that's why I don't show my face. Maybe one day I'll have a even better computer system, but this is where we're at. All right, let's get started here. So I just rolled this clip back again so you can see I'm adding camera perspective views. I keep going back to preview. I'll adjust what I want and I'll hit the add button up on the top there, and I added these cameras real quick. So now anytime I click on these, you can see the different perspectives that have been generated, and I can work with that to create scenes and things that I'll show you to be teaching. And so that's where we started out, where we created a few what we call cameras. And then from there, each camera can have its own separate view or own movie, if you will. And when I export, I can export a single camera, or I can hook a whole bunch of different cameras together in a sequence, which is using the switcher. And then from there, I'm using several cameras all at once and exporting a movie that involves several cameras. And it's your choice how you want to export and stuff like that. So here we're just continuing to create different views, and then on those views we go ahead and work with the camera. We're setting the zoom and the perspective so that it gives a different view as it zooms out, creating a special effect using the lens key. And just understand all of this is an overview and high speed. And so if you want to learn these lessons, you'll want to go back and watch the entire lesson. We're going to be covering 3 hours of lessons in about 20 minutes here at high speed. So right now, this would be lesson 15, starting to master the camera work. And then you'd move on into lesson 16, which is part 2 of mastering the camera. And these have probably been a couple of the more popular lessons. Their camera system can be a little difficult until you kind of learn the basics of it. So okay, so I'm in the timeline here now, and I can basically go through and see every place where I have set a switch key. And each time it switches to a different camera, you're now then seeing that different view. And so when you want to actually see the switched movie, you will set the switch button and watch it that way. And when you want to see just an individual camera, you can just click on that and watch the movie that way. And so this is all about being able to set up multiple cameras and do lots of special effects and save a lot of time not having to do each individual camera setup into a scene. So now you can see here as we get a little more forward into this show that we're working on, this is a real episode of Hound Dog News for Kids. And we're working on a scene here. So coming up here's lesson 16, where we continue to work on mastering this camera system using the link unlink key and a couple other things here, working with the lens, perspective quite a bit. And so you're going to want to go back and really watch these full lessons, kind of get the idea of what I'm doing here, because I know it's going really fast, and I just really want you to just kind of see the things that we're doing to work through some of the elements of this show. So we're adding voices, we're getting different camera perspectives. And then when you add a voice into anything into Cartoon Animator 5, the characters will usually automatically lip sync if they're set up. And so that's how you get the lip movements and things like that. And then you can go in and custom set all the lip movements and eye movements and that as well. And so this is all about setting up the different camera angles as we're getting ready to make this episode. Worked out most of the animation details, and so a lot of this whole episode here and this lesson is just to teach you how to make these different zooms and special effects and how to adjust this timing and speed of it in the timeline by just simply moving these little diamond keys. And so we go through this over and over and scrub through the timeline and work any character that you highlight as the character that you're actually working on at the time. But here we're just coming in and looking for all the little cute moments in the actual scene. And then you use the camera to really highlight that, to zoom in on it, and to get all these different perspectives. And then basically I take this to CapCut and I dice everything together into the episode. I find that easiest to do it that way. I do all the creation on Cartoon Animator 5, or at least most of it. So any of the zooms and things like that that you do in Cartoon Animator 5, you have just full resolution, which is the real secret to getting really high quality, high end. And then you send that out as an MP4. So once you get to CapCut and you do any zooming there, you certainly can do that, but you start to lose any resolution as you blow things up. And so that's why you want to do most of your camera work right in Cartoon Animator 5. All right, so we're into part 3 of mastering the camera. And we're really getting into the perspective and some of the history too of the difference between perspective views, perspective or orthographic, I believe it is. One moment, I'll double check that. Okay, yes, orthographic is the correct term. I had to kind of roll back the video. For some reason in CapCut, when I'm doing a voiceover like this to review, I'm only able to see like 50% of the screen. They don't have a full screen view for me to watch my own video. And so it's really sometimes a real challenge to tell you what's actually going on and what I did months ago. Okay, so this we're into this character now, and we're working with the characters. We're actually working with the character and creating a little scene here. And so now I've got a camera view that I've set into the timeline. And from there, I can continue to just keep building on this. So I'm going to use the face puppet here. And so this lesson goes into working with the character. And so this is all about moving forward in the timeline, setting the actor where you want it to be. And then when you go back in the timeline, you see that the camera has automatically recorded that movement. Okay. So then this is more of the Hound Dog Nudes for Kids episode as we're building and finishing this party scene. And we have Grandma and Grandpa here. Alex is singing a special song, and at some point they're going to hold hands and always singing our song. And but at this point, we're just working on the camera views of this and the very first elements of the show. And all along through this lesson, of course, it's going in slow speed. I'm explaining fully what we're doing, how we're doing it, how we're creating the cameras, and then showing you how it looks after we've done it. Okay, so you'll want to be sure to see that. That was lesson 17. So here in lesson 18 is character creation. And with this, we're working with a Reallusion character that I purchased. And then what we're going to do is go in and make that character our own and show them. I'm just showing all different ways that you can actually change the character around into a different look. You can recolor the clothes. You can change the look of the actor, put on a different head or face, change the eyes. And so we just go through and do a whole bunch of different things so that you can watch me transform this character into a different character. And so this is a great one to learn how to do that, working with an already existing character. So the advantage to that is that you're working with a character that already has this bone structure, can already automatically work with all of the movements and presets that come with Cartoon Animator 5. So really the cost of a character is really, I think on average would be $10 to $20 or less. And that's really a good investment and something then that you can just sit and make all kinds of different characters out of to make your unique person. So that's the goal here, to show you how to do that. This is the way I would recommend any beginner to get going, is to get a fully functioning working character, existing character, and change it, learn how to change it. A lot of people want to do their own art, and that's great, but it's a lot more difficult to bring an art piece in and then convert it into a working character. So as we get towards lessons 20 and 21, we do exactly that, and we create a character. So, all right. So here we've gone from the Reallusion character to John. And John I've used in quite a few things. And now you can see I can put in a preset, even the advanced preset motions, and he can do absolutely everything. Okay, so I'd highly recommend that. And then I just go in, customize his face. This is the face puppet. I can then give him the look I want, make him smile. In the timeline, you can see the movements that I had double clicked on that then automatically go in the timeline to create those movements. And then from here, we go ahead and we select this little section of movie that we just did, and we create what's called a collect clip. And by just right clicking and going up in that collect clip line and highlighting it and grabbing it, we're able then to put that into the actor's action menu. And then they can just do that action. So here he is now. We've recorded that action, and now we can right click on the character and click his action menu and just literally put that exact same motion right into the timeline. As you'll see here, as we're looks like we've just exactly duplicated it now. So then anywhere I go into another movie I'm making, I can just right click on this character. I can go ahead and put in his action menu, and he'll do that. So here we're putting it into the timeline, and we now have an exact duplicate. Okay, so then that's saved permanently into his record, and anywhere I go with him, I can go ahead and have him do that motion. So that's great if you're going to have your actor do all kinds of different things all over and over again. You can save a ton of time by setting up their action menu, have them sit down, lay down, walk. Sky's the limit on what you can do with the collect clip here. All right. And so this is a good lesson in working with an existing character. We go into now setting up his, since he has new eyes and a different mouth and different hair, we go in and literally adjust his look now. And this is a profile setup. You click the little red dot and he turns his head to the different directions, and you put his mouth movements into the correct place the way you want it to look. Save it. And now he's a more smiley face and has the look that I want. Right. So we take a quick gander through some of the programs that I like to use. And that's at the end of this lesson. And so you can find out where I like to get some of my free images and backgrounds. And I don't have to pay for absolutely everything. And kind of notes that I take when I'm researching a lesson. Okay, and so that's basically that. We do send people to the Hound Dog News online, and that is now hounddognews.com, so be aware of that. Get that free download. Okay, so this is image to animation, where we actually do take an image right off of Pixabay, a flat image, and we turn it into a working character. And so this whole lesson's about how to just grab one of the dummies in Cartoon Animator 5 and then overlay your image over the top of that dummy. And there's the bones of the dummy right there. And then we just set those bones on the character. And I'm walking you through step by step what I'm doing. It's going in the regular motion, not at 5 times speed like we're doing here. And show you how to move these bones so that you can create a actual moving character out of an image. And then if you had drawn this image yourself, this is the same process that you would do. I just grabbed an image off of Pixabay because I'm not an artist. Okay, and you can see that the real clunky arms and all of that, and then when, you know, he moves and everything, but it's real clunky. So now we're going in and we're masking off the parts, and we're virtually creating, by the time we're done, we have a torso picture, we have arm pictures, and we just keep working through the body parts so that we can actually have completely moving and functional character without having to actually go through the whole real illusion process, which is mapping every single part to the body map. This is kind of a shortcut method that takes a couple hours to do a character versus maybe 16 hours to do a regulation character like the one I had just showed you that I, you know, bought for about 20 bucks. But I wanted to show this process, so if you don't have the money to invest in a character or you're working with your own art, this is how you're going to do it. This is what you do. And I would say the Reillusion character is going to actually function a lot better. This one will do pretty good, but not as well. Okay, so you can see that you just mask it off, create that part, keep creating a functional character, has the moving parts. So this lesson was really valuable for a person that wants to work with their own art. So here you go, lesson 20. And then as we move into the next lesson, 21, it's pretty much all about the head and face calibration. And so we're just about there with that, I think. Now I could have separated the legs the same way as the arms, but they functioned very well just like they were, so I just left it alone. He had a nice wrinkle in his kneecap on his pants, and that was super advantageous for having it look realistic. So, um, but if you were to do the legs, you would just do it the same way that I taught you with the arms to separate the thigh and the hips and that. So he has more of that rubber band look in his legs, and that's where, with the bone structure actually moving at the kneecap, it would look a little more like he's bending like a human would bend their knees. So I liked it though. I went with it. We went into the wireframe mesh and we called kind of tighten things up. And by doing that, it's telling the computer to kind of reference exactly where everything is. And you'll see here the result is that a much better looking joints and movements and all of that now that it's all been calibrated that way. Okay, so lesson 21 is now going to take us to the next level of the head, and we'll work through all of the presets that are here. So basically, Cartoon Animator 5 has this nice little panel, and you just start at the very beginning, and you go through and you do a simple alignment, and you'll set all these little dots up so that they line up better to the actual image. And then once you're done doing the simple one, you'll work through a few other details, and you just keep going through and calibrating step by step by step. It walks you through it. And then as we go back to it, you'll see that we continue on. Now I'm going in and I'm creating the head at this point and masking off the head part. And then at some point we'll go back in and then it'll walk us through the advanced calibration of the face. And you'll see that it's just a bit more detailed, but super simple. Okay, so we've got the head now, and we've created a nice head nub, and you can see here by me going through the previews. So we have to do some work to shave it, shave the neck and all of that, so that when you rotate it, it doesn't have those hard edges looking like its head's cut off. So I show you how to do all of that. And we go back in now and we work a little bit more on the calibration. Starting to get a little better. Okay, now he just has a line for a mouth, so we go in and we literally give him a mouth. And this is the more advanced calibration there, where you go through a quick little series and tightens up the look. Mask that neck off a little bit, not jagged anymore. And this is all the things that we're doing here. We're just going through and tweaking it, and then we check the calibration, and he talks and blinks, and you can see whether you're set up correctly. Now in the mouth, you have all kinds of selections for real looking teeth, cartoon looking teeth, and we can adjust those teeth and the highlights and the throat. So basically you're in control. You set up all the features of your character. I made mine just look kind of real but a little cartoony, so from a distance they would look realistic but not. Okay, so now he has a working mouth and teeth. There we go. So I hope you enjoyed that and learned something from it. Be sure to go and review these full lessons in order to see the rest of the content. And thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel and helps us grow. Have a great one. See you on the next one. We'll be doing lessons in review about 22 through I'm not sure what. I'll have to look. See you then.